Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind. Historical events of 12th April. A journey through time of 12th April 2025 Saturday. Today's that is 12th April highlight in history. 1606. The Union flag is adopted as the flag of English and Scottish ships. 1776. American Revolution. With the Halifax Resolves, the North Carolina Provincial Congress authorizes its congressional delegation to vote for independence from Britain. 1782. American Revolution. A Royal Navy fleet led by Admiral George Rodney defeats a French fleet led by Comte de Grasse at the Battle of the Saintes of Dominica in the Caribbean Sea. 1796. War of the First Coalition. Napoleon Bonaparte wins his first victory as an army commander at the Battle of Montenotte, splitting the Austrian and Piedmontese armies away from each other and marking the beginning of the Piedmontese surrender in the war. 1807. The Fro-Prague mutiny on Malta ends when the remaining mutineers blow up the magazine of Fort Ricasoli. 1820. Alexander Yapsilantis is declared leader of Filiki Italia, a secret organization to overthrow Ottoman rule over Greece. 1831. Soldiers marching on the Broughton Suspension Bridge in Manchester, England, caused it to collapse. 1861. American Civil War. Battle of Fort Sumter. The war begins with Confederate forces firing on Fort Sumter in the harbor of Charleston, South Carolina. 1862. American Civil War. The Andrews Raid, the Great Locomotive Change, occurs starting from Big Sandy, Georgia, now Kennesaw. 1864. American Civil War. The Battle of Fort Pillow. Confederate forces killed most of the African American soldiers that surrendered at Fort Pillow, Tennessee. 1865. American Civil War. Mobile, Alabama falls to the Union Army. 1877. The United Kingdom annexes the Transvaal. 1900. One day after its enactment by the Congress, President William McKinley signs the Foraker Act into law, giving Puerto Rico limited self-rule. 1910. SMS Jedrini, one of the last pre-dreadnought battleships built by the Austro-Hungarian Navy, is launched. 1917. World War One. Canadian forces successfully complete the taking of Vimy Ridge from the Germans. 1927. Shanghai Massacre of 1927. Chiang Kai-shek orders the Chinese Communist Party members executed in Shanghai, ending the First United Front. 1927. Rock Springs, Texas is hit by an F5 tornado that destroys 235 of the 247 buildings in the town, kills 72 townspeople, and injures 205, third deadliest tornado in Texas history. 1928. The Bremen, a German Junkers W-33 type aircraft, takes off for the first successful transatlantic aeroplane flight from east to west. 1934. The strongest surface wind gust in the world at the time of 231 miles per hour is measured on the summit of Mount Washington, New Hampshire. It has since been surpassed. 1934. The US Autolite strike begins, culminating in a 5-day melee between Ohio National Guard troops and 6,000 strikers and picketers. 1937. Sir Frank Whittle ground test the first jet engine designed to power an aircraft at Rugby, England. 1945, US President Franklin D. Roosevelt dies in office. Vice President Harry S. Truman becomes president upon Roosevelt's death. 1945, World War II. The US Ninth Army under General William S. Simpson crosses the Elbe River astride Magdeburg and reaches Tangermunde, only 50 miles from Berlin. 1955, the polio vaccine developed by Dr. Jonas Salk is declared safe and effective. 1961, space race. The Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin becomes the first human to travel into outer space and perform the first crewed orbital flight, Vostok 1. 1963, the Soviet nuclear-powered submarine K-33 collides with the Finnish merchant vessel MS Finkliper in the Danish Straits. 1970, Soviet submarine K-8 carrying 4 nuclear torpedoes sinks in the Bay of Biscay 4 days after a fire on board. 1980, the Americo-Liberian government of Liberia is violently deposed. 1980, Trans-Brazil Flight 303, a Boeing 727, crashes on approach to Hercílio Luz International Airport in Florianopolis, Brazil. 55 out of the 58 people on board are killed. 1980, Canadian runner and athlete Terry Fox begins his Marathon of Hope run in St. John's, NF. 1981, the first launch of a space shuttle Columbia takes place, the STS-1 mission. 1983, Harold Washington is elected as the first black mayor of Chicago. 1985, Space Shuttle Discovery launches on STS-51D to deploy 2 communications satellites. 1990, Jim Garrich's 20th Century Dinosaurs exhibition opens at the Smithsonian Institution National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. He is the only sculptor ever invited to present a solo exhibition there. 1990, Widerøe Flight 839 crashes after takeoff from Værøy Airport in Norway, killing 5 people. 1992, the Euro Disney Resort officially opens with the theme park Euro Disneyland. The resort and its park's name are subsequently changed to Disneyland Resort Paris. 1999, United States President Bill Clinton is cited for contempt of court for giving intentionally false statements in a civil lawsuit. He is later fined and disbarred. 1999, during the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, an American McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle shoots a passenger train, killing between 20 and 60 people. 2002, a suicide bomber blows herself up at the entrance to Jerusalem's Mahane Yehuda market, killing 7 people and wounding 104. 2007, a suicide bomber penetrates the green zone and detonates in a cafeteria within a parliament building, killing Iraqi MP Muhammad Awad and wounding more than 20 other people. 2009, Zimbabwe officially abandons the Zimbabwean dollar as its official currency. 2010, Merano derailment, a rail accident in South Tyrol kills 9 people and injures a further 28. 2013, two suicide bombers killed 3 Chadian soldiers and injured dozens of civilians at a market in Kidal, Mali. 2014, the Great Fire of Valparaiso ravages the Chilean city of Valparaiso, killing 16 people, displacing nearly 10,000 and destroying over 2,000 homes. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, share and subscribe.